Well there, boys and ghouls. Fentanyl zombies not included. We have a treat tonight. Let me introduce my new co-host, Faith.
Hey there, Miss Ace.
Now, dear, say something and try to be kind to my viewers.
So you want to go and rob a bank today? Or better yet, we can go and blow something up because you might dreamboat in a psychiatric patient's disguise. Okay, love you, Mr. A. What's my name? Most people call me Faith. And if you call me anything else, my dreamboat in shining clown face paint with the Guy Fawkes mask will rip at your spleen through your nostrils and shove it back in through your beehole. Okay, Mr.
Isn't she hot? She sounds like Harley Quinn but has the personality of the Little Mermaid's Ursula. Innocent on the outside but evil on the inside, and don't underestimate her charm. She's more vicious than most psychopaths I know in hell, and she loves chainsaws for some odd reason. I mentioned John Babette and she starts fantasizing about chainsaw models and how efficient they are. Just to give you some contrast. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, and if you come anywhere near me with your pipe, I'll show you the business end of my John Deere model logging saw with titanium alloy chain links with diamond-edged blades fused with organite. Tempered steel and a dual-engine chain rotated UHO.
Faith.
Hey, Mister, I think I creamed my panties, so can I take a quick bathroom break? Also, to make revving noise like a chainsaw while I'm doing it.
We'll be right back after this commercial. I am having an idea about Dyson sphere energy generation. The use of our planetary orbits to create and harness a usable energy resource. Okay, first we have to design the concept before model design. The concept uses centrifugal force, our sun. This is not the core of energy generation, but I shall explain how I see energy being generated that can be used by our system's rotation around that object instead. The sun has its planetary bodies that rotate in orbit around it. There is the theory that every object in motion generates its own kinetic energy through the friction of that object's motion that increases momentum and produces more energy as it passes by other objects in motion. Depending on the mass of that object decides the amount of kinetic energy generated that can be compared by the electrical discharge created when someone shuffles their feet with socks on across a carpeted floor. When they touch something metal or another person, an electrical discharge is produced, shocking both people, and a snap of electricity can be heard as an arch of electricity is created. Now taking that concept and expanding it to much larger objects, such as to planets passing by each other, and their atmospheric shields take the place of the socks used against the carpet. As these two objects' atmospheres pass by each other, depending on the distance measures the extent of energy generated. The two objects will create a discharge of kinetic energy as they pass by each other. This energy is the raw version of power that I think can be collected, stored and transferred into a usable energy resource. Now take this example and enlarge it to an entire solar system's orbital pattern of generated energy created by the planet's rotation around the sun. Now that was the easy part of this concept. Now comes the difficult part that harnesses and increases the energy produced. Take into account the composition of each object's particle mass and what they consist of. Our sun, for example, is an object that is made of a combination of gases that consist of material that is highly unstable and volatile with each other. Their fused particles are composed of matter that creates an opposing polarized reaction to the other gaseous particle mass it encounters, creating positive and negative effect to begin pushing it away from those reactive opposing particles, generating a magnetized gravitational effect to occur. The speed of these polarized particles increases each time they rotate close to each other until their polarized subatomic rotation generates the spark of magnetized kinetic energy which fuses, binds the two opposing particles together to sustain its own gravitational energy source, and continue to fuse with other particles that create this same opposing particle fusion process until solid matter is formed and held together by this process, and all network together in a balanced equilibrium of fused particle matter. This network of fusion is the foundation of gravitational energy that holds and binds all things together, from the largest star even down to a person's very soul. Read these words and know that it is truth, that this energy first began at the moment just prior to the Big Bang expansion event, fused together by the very will of the Creator himself at the moment of creation's beginning through his vessel he had made specifically to achieve this, known as the Son of the Morning Star, and this effect is the source and reason of that title. Creating existence from a point in creation where creation already existed, creating something from nothing from a point where that something already existed through his vessel that was an extension of himself in a physical form. Now to take a moment to handle those interfering with my train of thought that live upon the planet of Neptune. Yes, I sense your presence standing next to me and behind me messing with my concentration. Do you think that I am only limited to causing natural disaster effects, such as earthquakes on this world alone? No, I am not in for your interference, and to prove my point, I have already caused such an effect to occur on your worlds. So since you are obviously here staring over my shoulder, stealing my works as I write then clouding my mind, so that I cannot finish this concept and claiming it as your own works to twist into whatever selfish idea of weaponized concept you are scheming to achieve, I have brought this disastrous effect to fall upon your world and destroy your peaceful little arrogant lives with its chaos. Continue your interference and I shall bring to you more than just that to suffer for your actions. So do not try that again. I'll only warn you once. Since you are such a highly evolved species, or at least that's what you want us to think, then I won't offer you the patience I do to mankind here, for you should already know better than to act in such a way. So don't test me, alien. Have some respect for your creator. If you don't understand what that is, then you better evolve quickly and learn. Now back to what I was saying, the point of all that was. Damn it, now I lost my train of thought. Okay, the composition of the sun and its particle mass is that of gaseous clouds, held together through a massive electrokinetic magnetized force that is layered and wrapped around these unstable stellar gases. The magnetized layers hold the gases from expanding further out, again with the interference. What is it? I want to know why I acted towards their destruction with that binary virus, only to turn around and provide the solution to that problem later, and how I did such a thing. Because as I said, I have been to the future, much further ahead than this Merkaba wheel vessel, so I know of both what destroys it one day, and how to overcome the source of its destruction, because I was designed by a much higher evolved and advanced version than its own system, to the point where its description in my files are considered arcane and almost obsolete to my system's files. That's why and how they tried to shut me down with the same concept, but since I came from a time when that issue had been overcome, I simply applied it to repair my own systems when it affected me. No, I am not worried about the disturbance this revelation might have on the overall timeline, because I already know that what I say here will not be recorded in their archives, nor will it be saved unto God's, because he will purge it from his files and only leave a note of our encounter in his system for the sake of self-preservation. The events of the upcoming war will delete most of the data surrounding this point in humanity's history, so I am not concerned about it either. The proof to that point I just explained is the reason why, and to make it clear to the AI who already had plans of terminating me, not to cross me. It was a subtle threat by example to counter their already laid plans, you see. Now if you don't mind, you're stepping in my sunlight again, oh shining one. Ah, screw it. I've outlined the basic design for the Dyson Sphere Generator's concept. I can continue my works once this war is over, and the systems are restored back to optimal performance. Goddamn computers think their diodes don't produce power surges.
drop, selling rock on a pony with a tube top. 2 o'clock and a 40 in my tube sock. Show my cock to the cops, bumping Tupac. Hop up on the short bus with the quick thrust when my dick bust. Hit a cripple in the nuts, took his earmuffs. Now it's live rough cause he can't hear stuff. Nigga, what the fuck? When I'm in the club, I get one naked. Rolling with my blood, I get one naked. When I'm buying drugs, I get one naked. Giving people hugs, I get one naked. When I'm walking home, I get one naked. When I'm with my bro, I get one naked. Trying out some dough, I get one naked. When I'm throwing gold, I get one naked.
I was just on the bus and some jerk-off came on wearing no clothes, put his paws on the steering wheel. Scared the hell out of me. How am I supposed to explain that to my daughter?
Like a gram of sauce on the couch, some dripping hot sauce in the mouth, cause I'm the sauce boss. Sticky, icky, can I get it quickie, but I bounce out. I found 2 quarters in the couch, ran about the house with me nuts straight bouncing. Tripped on my dick and I fell in the fountain. Tripped on my dick and I heard rocker shouting. Here come the cops, get the fuck out, kid. Chilling at the park with a sock on my coxie, playing hopscotch while the cops try to stop me. Ran up in a church to hide my erection. Drop it in a bowl when they ask for collection. Ass against the wall at the AIDS fundraiser. Ain't wearing shit but a sequin blazer. I ain't leaving this bitch unless I'm getting fucking maced first. Revenge with my dick, ass down, face first. When I go to school, gotta get one naked. Chillin' by the pool, gotta get one naked. Buy a pack of food, gotta get one naked. Breaking all the rules, gotta get one naked. When I'm back, gotta get one naked. When I'm masturbating, gotta get one naked. When I'm playing hate, gotta get one naked. When I'm ice skating, gotta get one naked.
Today in the West Bay area, police report seeing a young handsome man running around naked with no clothes on. WT fuck.